Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, has banned the sale of alcoholic beverages in the state. The governor made the announcement on Tuesday at the inauguration of a reconstituted committee on revocation of illegal hotels, brothels, shanties, and criminal hideouts and curbing the menace of antisocial vices at the social chambers of the government house in Maiduguri, the state capital. Zulum also reconstituted and re-empowered the committee to purge the state of all forms of criminality and antisocial vices in the Maiduguri metropolis and surrounding environments. The governor said the ban on sales and consumption of liquor and alcoholic content stems from the rise in cases of clashes among rival groups, cultism, prostitution, drug abuse, thuggery, and theft, which have led to loss of lives and valuables. He also co-opted the military, police, civil defense and several other security agencies, including the civilian JTF, to join the committee for a holistic approach. He also stated that former and current serving personnel of the Nigerian security forces have played a significant role in influencing the civilian populace into criminality, radicalism, prostitution and other vices, heightening terrorism threats in the state. In his words, I am happy to know that army officers are here, especially the military officers, and others are here because most of these activities were committed by whom? Some of them are dismissed army officers, dismissed security officers, current army officers, men and officers, including civilians. So there should be no sacred cow in this matter. If we want the Maiduguri metropolis and indeed the state to get rid of insurgents, terrorism and other sorts of criminalities, Zulum said. All right, that was an interesting one by Governor Zulum from Borno State. Now over to you, Mr. Victor Peters. What do you make of the story? You know, like banning alcohol. I mean, like it's that's, you know, the best they can come up with to curb insecurity going on in Borno State.
Okay, well, thank you so much, MJ.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so perplexed that this has to be attributed to the causes of everything you just mentioned whilst you're taking that prep, because I'm trying to wonder at this instance how the use of alcohol, you know, I know to some extent it might trigger some people to, you know, commit these offenses that have been listed here.
Okay.
But I don't think this should be the major reason why these people, or this is the major reason why these people are committing such crimes. Right. So for him attributing that, saying that the use of alcohol, you know, prompts these people to do all of that, for me, I don't really think it's what it is. I think he's out of the line, right? So there are so many factors that contribute to people doing this crime that he's not even talking about, right?
Okay.
When we look deep into the issues, it's not just about the use of alcohol. I quite understand the fact that, okay, the Muslims kind of, let me put it that way, they don't like the use of alcohol, they don't use alcohol, they don't like alcohol, they don't take alcohol. So you bringing out this alcohol issue and now trying to paint it with the issues or what's causing people to commit all these crimes is something I can't really relate with, and I don't really agree with him on that. So I think if maybe they want to curtail or they want to stop the use of alcohol, he should go straight to say, okay, we want to stop the use of alcohol, and not trying to attribute it to you know, reasons why these crimes have been committed.
So you're trying to say that he stopping the sale, because he said is the stop of, sorry, he stopped the sale of alcohol in hotels or anywhere alcohol could be found at all, because I don't think he was saying the use, to stop the use of alcohol. So
if he's talking about selling, who are they selling it to? Is it not the final consumers? Definitely they will use it, right? So for him stopping the sales, it means he's also stopping the use of alcohol, because if you're stopping the sale, it won't get to the consumers, and if you allow them to sell it, it will get to the consumers and they will take it. So I feel like it's kind of in a subtle way trying to stop the use of alcohol in Gombe State, as it were.
Borno State.
Borno State, I beg your pardon. So if he's trying to stop it, he should come out plain to say, okay, I'm trying to stop it because one, it doesn't align with our religion, it doesn't align with
values,
our ethics and with our values and ethics, and not just coming to say, okay, it's the reason why these crimes have been committed. No, I don't totally agree with that.
All right, very well. Over to you, Mr. Phil Michael. So now, you know, the governor banned alcohol and attributed that to the reasons, or rather it's going to curb insecurity in the state. Now my question to you is, what happens to the dealers? What happens to the people that deal on alcohol, and like it's their business or something that they generate money from this? What happens to it? Because I feel like they must be distributors or major producers of these liquors or alcohol that are being distributed there. So what happens to them now, since the governor has said no more sales or he banned sales of alcohol in Borno State?
First of all, I want to establish the fact that for the fact that something is banned does not mean it goes out of existence.
Okay.
It's just that you are not permitted to openly sell these things again, but it doesn't mean that it's completely out of existence.
Okay.
And then on the other side of the business, people who sell these things, for you to sell these things in such a terrain, you should know that it is not accepted. So anything could come up any day, and anything could any law could be enacted to ban the sale of any particular product in a particular place. And and like I said, in the northern states, they don't they don't support the use of alcoholic beverages or alcoholic products, irrespective of the fact that it's still there, because that is based on fact. It's one of the areas where these things are consumed highly. So you see that. So now what he did was to ban it. He was saying he doesn't totally agree that banning it is going to help curb, but I would support the government in a way that drastic measures calls for drastic steps.
Okay.
Drastic times calls for drastic measures. I beg your pardon.
Okay.
So before he cited this part, there must have been regular reportage to him that, okay, this is going on, like he said, destruction of shanties and
hotels and
hotels. And right there in Port Harcourt, there was a time when a governor came and went to a particular place and destroyed so many, I think they call it slaughter, and destroyed so many facilities down there. Why? When they asked him, said that's this is like a stronghold of most crimes you see committed. So if the governor takes that step, remember he has advisors, he has security advisors who must have sitting down and tell, okay, look at based on the facts, this could be a contribution factor. So I would support the governor in that aspect, but I wouldn't say that's the ultimate to do currently. There are other things to do.
To do, right?
Yes, but if he says, I am banning the sale of this and I'm going to destroy the shanties, brothels, and whatever, it tells there should be. To an extent, we will hold him credible, because that is an action he's taking in the bid to curb insecurity, because these things are being transmitted down there. If you've stayed in ghetto, you understand why he's saying this.
Yeah, well, do you know, like, when I actually read this story,
okay,
I was like, really, alcohol? I mean, what's with reducing or banning alcohol sale? And he mentioned in his words that police officers and armies were there, and I was wondering, people don't kill with alcohol. These terrorisms or these terrorists, they don't kill with alcohol. They don't maybe spray alcohol on you and you're dead. They use weapons. So what happens to, also trying to stop a ban on weapons and stuff like that? Like, you cannot have, and because I with what I've researched, I heard that especially headsmen and some of the men there, they live in their house with weapons. They stay with weapons and all of that, and so many other reasons where they could bring up to curb insecurity. My question is, why is he really why it was more like alcohol is the reason why these things are happening?
Okay. So MJ, I want us, just like what Michael just said now, if you look deeply about the use of alcohol, Borno State is not the only place where alcohol is being consumed.
Correct.
Alcohol is being consumed in different parts of the state in Nigeria. Now, why don't we have these issues of insecurities in these areas where these alcohols are being consumed?
Another angle. Another angle.
Now, if you are trying to stop the sales of the alcohol, remember, VATs are being generated. Taxes, VATs are being generated from this, products that are being sold out.
Okay.
And that this VAT forms the part of the revenue that is being distributed to different parts of the state. What happens in this regard? You stop the sale of something and you still want the revenue to come to you. Does that make sense?
Like I said, banning does not totally stop.
Yes,
it doesn't take away alcohol from the particular territory.
Now the question is, different states consume alcohol, right? And now we don't have these issues of crimes those issues he mentioned. We don't have them. Now, why is it so?
Alcohol has an effect, an influence, an effect on the consumer. First of all, now I want to establish that fact, and then secondly, he understands his terrain.
Okay.
Every terrain has different security issues. He understands that probably they must have reported to him that these things are consumed on the high level, and you can't, because this is the lucrative business, so people are interested in it. So it is even beyond them. Maybe he's trying to tackle the sponsors to cut the value they get, the economic value they get from this product. So I think it's beyond the boundaries also. Probably he has understood that there's a chain of network that supports this business. So and we can't tackle it from just copying it. So we ban it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so banning it now, would you say this banning it will stop the insecurity that's going on? That's the question. Again, a lot of people haven't, just like I said, if you stop the sale of alcohol,
okay,
would you still want that revenue that's being generated from this same sales of alcohol?
If
you still want it?
If he has said, if the governor has said, what's his name again?
Zulum.
Yeah, Professor Zulu. If he has said that they are stopping the ban of alcohol, it therefore means they're actually cutting off from the tax. Wow. Now, where the issue comes in now is where they banned it and they're still expecting the tax. But you asking if
gentlemen,
he was asking if alcohol, have you seen someone under the influence of something? There's literally, I'm not trying to paint them bad, but some persons go there to the of smoking shit. Yes, gas from shit.
That's not alcohol. So let's
it's not the business. It's alcohol.
Gentlemen, can I have the exactly? So now, I understand the argument, right? You, Victor, you are establishing that what happens to the VAT or the revenue being generated from the sale, and you are saying, so you are in support of what Governor Zulum has said for Borno State. You feel is the best.
If Governor Zulu has said banning alcohol is help to stop insecurity in the state, fine, I will support him. Let us watch and see.
All right, very well.
Sorry, where the issue comes in is when, as he has banned it, there's still a rise in insecurity. They will know that that's a misplaced priority.
And that's why I asked, as he has stopped it now, would insecurity stop? Would all those problems stop?
We are actually watching to see.